Hello, welcome to Encore's weekly music show. Coming up with France 24's music critic Mark Thompson. To Pimp a Butterfly, Kendrick Lamar's new album breaks records. The light side of Darkel, as Jean-Benoît Dunckel talks to France 24 about his solo project. And Shake, Shook, Shaken, but not stirred, the French-Finnish duo The Doe are in the studio as they stop off in Paris on their world tour. Olivia Merilati and Dan Levy, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Hello.
Hello also to Mark Thompson, our music critic. Thank you for being here. Now we're going to start with one of the most talked about records of the year, Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly. Now it set a new global record on Spotify for being having the most album streams in a single day. Were you two among the 9.6 million who streamed it?
Yes.
Yeah. You were?
Yes, I was really impatient to hear the album. I'd heard already a track or two a little earlier, so I was kind of optimistic. But I don't know. I like it, but I'm not 100% sure about everything I've heard.
Dan, any thoughts?
To be honest, I think I just hear some of Tribe Called Quest and George Clinton stuff. And
There's nothing new.
No, it's new, but it's not like we hoping hip hop to be the music of the moment. So we hope something more new, surprising.
Okay.
So
well, Mark, he is breaking records, and he won 2 Grammys for a song off this album. Why is it so good?
Well, first off, I think what's important to say is that it is an album. It's very hard to listen to a couple of tracks from this record and go, oh, I get it. It just doesn't work like that. And his first record was autobiographical, but this has been described as a meditation on black culture. And you can see why he discusses race, economics, welfare, just interrelations, and how he's grown up out of Compton and become the star he has, and how he's trying to cope with that. It's very different. As you said, there are huge names popping up all the way through this. Dr. Dre, who came from the same school as him, George Clinton, Pharrell, Snoop Dogg has a cameo in it as well. But you can't really be bored by this. It's not hip-hop, it's not just rap. You have soul, you have funk, you have blues, and there's even a spoken word element to this as well. People really got excited by this when it first came out with the single I that came out in November, and this is the song that did win him a couple of Grammys. Let's have a quick listen to I.
His music has been praised by Kanye West and Taylor Swift. Is this a mainstream album?
Well, it's mainstream in the way that it's popular, but it's in no way derivative. I mean, when you first hear the album title, To Pimp a Butterfly, it's very easy to wince and go, what's this going to be about? But it makes sense when you look at it as a whole narrative, as a story about this caterpillar that grew up, and it's actually him telling a story as a caterpillar to Tupac Shakur, who was very suppressed by a lot of the problems that he's addressing in this album. And so you have to look at this as a whole book, as a narrative. And one of the great things about this is that there's a twist at the end, and it's a whole story. You have to really take time to get into it.
It's only just clicked, actually, that he is the caterpillar who turns into the butterfly.
Exactly.
Sorry, I'm a little bit slow today, Monday morning. Well, moving on now to the man who's known to most of us as one half of the French duo Air, but Jean-Benoît Dunckel is more than a one-trick pony, isn't he?
Yeah, very much so. He's worked on a number of soundtracks for various films, such as The Virgin Suicides. He's also got his own side project with the lead singer from New York Pony Club. That's called Tomorrow's World. And he's back with his second solo album, as Mariam Saab reports.
Jean-Benoît Dunckel has been strutting his stuff on the road to French touch glory since the mid-90s. and putting the sexy in sexy boy. As one half of Air, one of the most influential electro-pop duos in history, it's no wonder that it's taken the musician almost a decade to follow up on his solo debut Darkel.
Some men wait for Jesus and God. Some men have stopped waiting.
In the intervening years, it's been a game of musical chairs.
In many albums with Air. Also, when I released the first Darkel, it was a period I was working with Charlotte Gainsbourg. So we released one album for her called 555. I've done this record with the singer of New Young Pony Club for the project Tomorrow's World. I did like many videos and one EP with Star Walker. I artistically feed myself with other people. If I'm alone, days can be like endless and kind of dark.
From the airwaves to the big screen, Air composed haunting scores for the Virgin Suicides, Lost in Translation, and most recently, Dunckel's latest EP is the soundtrack to the Summer of Sangel. For now, it's unlikely that Dunckel will seek the stamp of approval from his longtime Air partner Nicolas Godin on his solo venture.
It's a bit like having an affair with someone and saying, oh, do you like my new girlfriend? Yeah, to your wife, for example. It's not possible, so...
There you go, that was Jean-Benoît Dunckel. Now, Olivia and Dan, do you take inspiration from French musicians like Air and Darkel?
Yeah, well, I guess they've been more or less consciously a reference for many years. But there's also acts like Justice and newer acts such as Gesaffelstein for some more techno acts, which are also really inspiring. There's a lot of good stuff coming from France at the moment.
And Jean-Benoît Dunckel talked there about working on soundtracks. That's how you two met, working on a film soundtrack. Tell us more.
Yeah, we were working on we start with soundtracks and music for dance, contemporary dance. So we start to take a day off and start to make songs. And
that's how the first, at first there was no question of making an album or writing songs was our way to do something that we were the only directors, so we were totally free to do whatever we wanted.
Well, that debut album did go straight to the top of the charts. Do you think that put pressure on you with the two albums that have followed?
Well, I think we won't admit it really, but on the second one I think there must have been some, but we still did the music we wanted to make on the second one, so which it was a more maybe intellectual, we were very concerned with the textures and the sounds, and we wanted to make a musician's album somehow, and Shake, 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 and I think there was no pressure.
With the new record, first of all, congratulations for winning Best Rock Album at the Victoire de la Musique this last month. That's the French version of the Grammys. Do you think that you have changed the way that you've approached making music since you made that first record?
I guess there's the vision gets more accurate with the years, so I think that's a good thing. That's quite a pleasant thing because we get to do things. We get the results we want more easily because we know the job a little better. But because the first album was kind of an accident, a happy accident. But we still have the same sort of guidelines. We want to surprise each other, and that's how we keep things fresh in the studio.
And you've been on tour since September, and it's just your tour's just turned into a world tour. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, we're off to America in early summer, and Istanbul. There's a festival in Istanbul, and we're really looking forward to that because there's something a little special with Turkey. Yeah, a lot of festivals in France as well, and we just came back from Scandinavia and Germany and London.
And
so you're hoping to go to Asia in the future as well. You said manga is a big part of the music, your creative process.
Yes, it's just something it's very strong in our imaginary world and visual world. So it's it's a big influence. But my dream is to go to Japan, but it hasn't happened yet.
Okay, Olivia and Dan, thank you so much for joining us here on
Thank
France
you.
24. And the Doe are playing at the Zenith this week. We're going to leave you with Despair Hangover from the Doe's album Shake, Shook, Shaken. Remember our website, we're also on Twitter and Facebook. There's more news coming up on France 24 after this.